Okay, we seem to be up and running. Okay guys, how's it all going? In this video, as it says in the description, we're going to start going through the process of creating an open world, and that for the VR. As you can see here, I've got a map. It's actually 20 kilometers by 20 kilometers, and if you have a look in total, I've got them all set up as set terrains, multiple terrains. So as you can see here, so you're able to do level streaming and that for performance reasons. The other thing too is with this process, you don't have to worry about downloading or purchasing any software such as World Machine if you don't want to, or was it another one that some people use is L3DT, because what that does, it converts a height map and it will then create it in tile form, so then you can then import it in and it will automatically put these in tiles. What we're going to do is we're going to do a process where we'll actually have to manually import these in and set them all up. It might not be the most efficient way, but as I said, you don't have to spend money on a program that you're only probably going to use a couple of times and then you'll have to purchase it. So this process, as I said, it's a little bit more time consuming, but the difference is that you won't have to, as I said, you won't have to purchase the program. But what you will need is Photoshop, because what we're going to have to do is we'll have to go through a process so we can set all this up so they're individual. But what I'll do is I'll show you exactly what the frame rate's like at the moment with this setup. This is only my test one that I do before I do a video. So what we'll do is we'll what's this doing? We'll open up the level blueprint. As you can see here, I've got them all set up so they're all streaming all at once, so you can see the frame rate. Alright, so we'll go plain VR. And there we are. Move forward. Now this is recording at the same time, but as you can see here, it's pretty well. I'll do a stat so you can see FPS. We're hitting 20 frames here because I'm live streaming at the same time, so it's using a lot of the CPU. But I'm hitting solid 75 frames, 76 frames because I've got a DK2, I don't have a DK1. And if we do another stat, call it scene render. And at this stage, yeah, you can see at the top there, you'll see the top one where it says rendering view family. It's at 8 milliseconds. Because as I said, I'm live streaming at the moment, so it's the reason why it's using a lot of the CPU and that. But if you have a look, I'll put the link actually in the description of the forum post I put on Unreal, and I took some screenshots, so you can see exactly what my frame rate is and what exactly my what the render scene actually is. But as you can see here, as I said, it's 20 kilometers by 20 kilometers. It's high. It's not super high detail, but it's pretty good. This hasn't got any foliage in at the moment, so we're going to go through the process of beginning of setting this up, and then that'll be for the first video, and then we'll go on from there. Okay. So what we're going to do is we need to go to. You can hear the Oculus going. I'll close that down. Right. So we need to go to terrain dot party. Now this is going to bring up the map of the world. As you can see here, we've got this little box here. So you want to be able to get a region that you want. I live in Australia here, and I live in Brisbane. So what I'll do is I'll get it, I'll drag it over to where I want it. I live in Brisbane here. So what we're going to do is, depending on what size you want, as you can see here, it's 18 kilometers. That means it's 18 kilometers from here to here, 18 kilometers from there to there. Sorry, 18 kilometers, no, full size, sorry. I was thinking something else. No, it's 18 kilometers full size. So it's 18 kilometers there to there, 18 kilometers from there to there. If you want, you can go 20 kilometers, and that's the actual map size of Unreal if you want to go 1-to-1. In my case, as you saw there, I went max size. I went full size, so which is on here is 60 kilometers. So it's 60 kilometers by 60 kilometers. And you can then find exactly what area you want. As you would have seen, we have this mountain here. It was in my scene because I figured that where I live, I can see this mountain. And yeah, it's a beautiful mountain. And also there's a water here, so I wanted to put the water in the scene. But if you know your area and you want to put your area in, it will make it even better. So then you can, like the reason why what I'm doing my area for is because I would like to see what it would look like if it was exactly like an old medieval village or country. So what you want to do is once you've worked out what area you want and what size you want to click download. And what it will do is it will download it to wherever you've set up your downloads. And then what you want to do is go to where it was downloaded. In my case, where did I put it? I think I put it in here. Game assets, terrain. Yep. Right. This is it here, and you'll end up with 4 files. All these are different height maps, depending on what program you want to use. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to use the merged one, which I prefer to use. And so what you want to do is you want to open up your Photoshop program, or open it up in Photoshop, and right, as you can see, there we are. We've got the map, we've got the height, we've got the water, and because Brisbane's got a river, it comes all the way from the water reservoir and goes all the way out to the ocean. So now what you want to do is you're going to go open new with Unreal Engine. The max size you can use is 8129, and you want to make a new document at that size per pixel, and then you want to copy it and paste it in, and then scale it back up. Right. Apply, there we are. So we've got the max size that Unreal Engine will take. If you want, you can just use that, but you won't be able to do level streaming. It will just be one complete level. So what we're going to do is, as you would have seen on there, I had multiple. And if you do like use a program like World Machine or even L3DT, Unreal will ask for, if you're doing like multiple tiles, it will ask for an R16 file. An R16 is basically, it chops it up into 16 pieces. So that's what we're going to actually do. So what we need to do is get a calculator. And we'll go 8129 divided by 4. And there we are. So we got 2032.25. But as you'll see, you can't put a 0.25 in. You don't want to go 2032, otherwise it's going to be smaller. So what you want to do is you want to go create a new one again. This time it is going to be 2033. 2033. Right. Now this here, we're going to be using this later on, but we want to go back to here again. Now the first thing you want to do is turn the layer off. Come up to your box here, and because we're in pixels, we're going to then cut this image up, but we're only going to use this pixels section here to make it a bit easier. So we need to go size wise. Is this? Yeah, this one here. We need to go 74 by 47 in the height and the width. There. And what you want to do then is you want to turn this on, do a left click on it, layer via copy. So as you can see, I've got a layer here. Now you want to go through the process of cutting this image up and constantly doing this. So what we'll do is turn that layer off, turn this one back on again. I'll turn it off and we'll rescale it again. And basically all we got to do is, as I said, it takes time to do, but once you've created a new box, you want to turn that new layer you just done on, push your arrow key, go across, make sure you've got an overlap area. The reason why you need to have an overlap is so when you go into Unreal and because what we're going to do is we're going to put these images in as your maps. And so you want an overlap so you can line them up. And so once that's done, we'll then once again layer via copy. And we're going to do that all the way across. I'm not going to sit here and go through every single one of them, but you want to do that step for each one. So as I said, we'll go here again. Right. Turn that on. Oh, hang on, before I turn that on, I'll turn this one on. Make sure I'm getting the overlap. Right, so I've got an overlap. Turn that one on and go layer via copy. Now the thing is too, is when you'll get to this area here, so you'll go across and then you will go, oh, hang on, the box is hanging over the side here. What you want to do is you just want to have it so it comes to here and it will overlap the third image a bit more. That's all it will do. So what I'll do is I'll open one I've already done. Open This one here, I think it was. Yeah, this is the one. As you can see here, I've gone through the process of doing individual ones from this one image. And that's so, as you can see, once you go through the process and you've got all of them, what you want to do is you want to be able to select individual ones. Hang on. This one will do because it's sitting there. So what you want to do is you want to select the layer, select the highlight. You want to be able to then go Control C. Now you want to go to this page here, the document that you opened up, which is 2033, and you want to go paste. And then go transform, edit, transform, scale. And then you want to rescale it. Alright, once done, apply. You then want to save it out. So in my case, what I did was open. I saved it out and I called them a terrain underscore x0 underscore y0. So x0 underscore y0 would be on the map down the bottom. And I did that all the way up. So you want to go, it's up to you exactly how you want to name them, but, come on, what are you doing? Oh, don't tell me it's locked up on me. Nope. Right. So you want to go down the bottom here. What am I doing? This one here, be terrain 0, 0 on the X and Y. And then you want to come up to here. So the next one up here, which is this one here, is terrain X0, Y1. And then this one will be X0, Y2, X0, Y3, and then this one here would be X1, sorry, X1, Y0. And then it would go exactly the same as you did here, where you went from 0 to 3. Here you'll go from 0 to 3, and then it will be exactly the same here. Instead of being 1, it will be 2, and then 0 to 3, and it'll be 3, 0 to 3, 3. So you'll have a total of 16 boxes. Once you've done that and you've saved them all out, and you've copied them and you paste them into here, and then you've saved them out, and then you'll have, as I said, you'll have them all set up. You'll have them all set up in a like this. So these will be all your files that you've got. You've got them individual, as I said, like an R16. This is the way it will be set up. If you import it in as an R16 tiled map, Unreal would want them set up like this. So then they're able to put it in via the program. So what you want to do then is, once you've completed that, we'll open up our program. This might take a few seconds. That'll be right. Right. Okay, so now we're in here. We're going to set up some file systems. So you want to go to content. We'll go new folder, and we'll type in maps. Open this up. Now you want to go and create a new level. In this one we'll need the default because we want to have a sky map. So have everything set up. So we've got light source, player start, sky sphere, and the fog. But what we don't need is that. Once that's done, we'll go File, Save As, make sure we're in our Maps folder, and we'll call it whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it Open World. Done. Right, now what you want to do is you want to go to your window, and you want to click Levels. That will then open up this. I've set it up here, but what you'll get is it like this. You'll open up like normal. So what you want to do is you want to get it and just drag it in to the area. So then there we are. We've got a level. Now what you want to do is create a new folder, and we'll call this what's it going to call it? We'll just call it terrain. Right. You want to go into your folder. Now we'll go through this process. This might close down on me a couple of times, and I might have to reopen it depending on what happens. I was having a bug with it this week with 4.12 doing this. This process, if it crashes on you, all you do is just close it down and reopen it again and go through the same process again. So what we're going to do is we're going to go new level. We're going to go an empty level this time. And we're going to go File, Save As, into our terrains, and we're going to call it terrain underscore x0 underscore y0. So we know exactly what map it is. Okay, save. Now what we need to do is we need to go up to landscape. We've got the landscape in, and we're going to go import from file. Now where you saved your map, in my case I saved it in terrain under Photoshop. Where you've saved all these, you want to go to there, and because as I said here, we call it terrain x0 underscore y0, which is this one here. I'm going to click on it, go open. I'm going to go to this map here. As you can see here, we got a map resolution is 2033 by 2033. That's exactly the same size as what we did pixel wise in Photoshop. Section size here, you're going to leave it as 127 by 127 quads. Section per, what's that one, component, we're going to leave that as standard, 2 by 2 sections. Number of components, 8 by 8, and the overall resolution, as I said, as we did in Photoshop, is 2033. Alright, now in my case what I did was here, as you can see, scale wise, it's only 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm going 5 kilometers by 5 kilometers, I'm going to change the scale size to 250, which then brings that up. So now we got 5 kilometers by 5 kilometers. And I'm going to change my height to 250. Right. And then I'll go import. See, as I said, it may close down on you. This is a bug that I've been having the past week. So So I don't know what's causing it. I haven't even worried about sending Epic a bug report on this, due to the case that 4.13 is coming out, and once Substance or algorithmic fixes the Substance plugin for 1.3, then I'm going to be opening the project up in 1.3, and then when that happens, then I'll do a video on the process of what I did to open up migrate the project to 1.3. So I'll just close this down, and we'll open it back up again. It's a bit of a pain in the butt, but once we go through this process, it takes a little while to do it. The other thing too is now, as you can see here, we open the project up and it's gone back to our default map. So what we'll do is we'll go project settings, maps and modes, and we'll set that up to open world or whatever name you made it, and we'll save that. Now we'll go to our map. So now we're back here again, terrain. Open this back up, as you said, because we saved it already, because we already named it. Now we'll go through the process again. We're trying to import this map in. So you want to go back to where it was named, select the map, change the scale. Alright, and go import. Now it should load this time. Ah, it's crashed again. It annoys me when it does this, because usually after the first time it does it, and that it will then load it the second time. But now it's crashing constantly. Alright, map, terrain, I'll open this up. Try it again, hopefully this time it won't crash. I do remember I usually have it down to this here, so it makes it easier. I know that one step I did that stopped it from crashing. So where is it here? Terrain, Photoshop, this one. Open. Right, now hopefully it won't crash this time. There we go, it didn't crash this time. Right. So as you can see here now, we have a map. But as you would have seen here, the map you can't, because there's no light source, you can't see it. But that's fine. But what we need to do now is we need to go into the world outliner, and we're going to rename it. So you go details, so you got the name, and we'll rename it underscore x0 underscore y0. And we'll do exactly the same with the landscape gizmo. So we'll go underscore. I don't know what this landscape gizmo is for. I didn't worry about deleting it, I've just left it in. Underscore x0 underscore y0. The reason why we rename these because we're going to be creating multiple maps. So basically you don't want the names to be able to clash. Now that's done, we'll go File, Save All. Now we've done that, we're going to go to make a new map. So new level, empty one again, File, Save As, and we're going to be doing this for all 16. So terrain, terrain underscore 0 underscore, underscore x0 underscore y1. Right, save all. Now we're going to change the map to terrain, as you can see here with the name again. We're going to select that map. We've already got all our settings in. Just go import, and there we are. You can see this time it didn't crash. So what you want to do is you want to go save all, and then you want to go through the process of doing this for every single map. You want to create a new map, new default, file, what do I call it? Yeah, save as. Terrain underscore x0 underscore y2. Select the map, import. Right. Save all. New level, empty. I'll just do this last one, and then I'll show you how process I go of putting it together. And map. Hang on, did I save it? No, I didn't. Cancel. File, save as. Terrain. Underscore x underscore x0 underscore y3. Right. Save all. Import map. We'll go x0 y3. Open. Import. Right. Now what we need to do is we need to rename all these. As I said, rename the map. I haven't renamed the maps yet, so we've already done one, so now I'm going to redo these ones here. Okay. So underscore x0 underscore y1. Underscore x0 underscore y1. Save all. Underscore x0 underscore y2. Underscore x0 underscore y2. Now you want to do this for every single map that you make. So that's going to be in total. You should have 16 maps from 0, 0 all the way up to 3, 3. Right. So as you can see now, we've got all. Well, at the moment we've got 4 maps in. You should have 16 in total. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go open this open world, come up to levels here. Make sure you're on the persistent level. Then we're going to go level, add existing. And we're going to select terrain 0, x0, y0. We'll go open. So you can see now it's added the terrain into our level. As you can see, it's now brought it in. We've now got light on there, and we've also got an atmosphere, which will be across all levels because we were using our open world level as our main level. So what we need to do now is we need to select our terrain level, go to a world outliner. As you can see here, we've got landscape x0, y0, and we've also got a gizmo. So you want to select your landscape, go to your top view, and as you can see, we've got our map. So what you want to do is you want to then bring it over to where you want to sit it on the corner. As you just would have seen on Photoshop, we started in the bottom corner, and we're going up this way from 0, 0 up to 0, 3. Over here will be 3, 0, and up here will be 3, 3. So what we're going to do is going to import them each one in, and we're going to then connect them up like a puzzle. So you'll have, as you would have saw at the beginning of the video, an open world. So once we've got that in, we're going to do some changes here. As you can see, Z-wise, we're sitting a bit low. We'll change. I'll show you. See how we're sitting below the 0, 0 point here. The map is. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it up. In this case, we're going to take it up to about there, and that's so basically the bottom of the map is level with that red line, and we're going to use that height then on every single map so they all line up. Okay, so now we've got that one in, we've got it located. The other thing we want to do is, while we're in, go back to persistent level. You want to go to volumes, and as far as I remember, it's the light maths importance volume. You want to drag that in, make sure it's at 0, 0. And we're going to scale it up. I think it was 10,000. There we go. 10,000 by 10,000 by 10,000. So as you can see here, it was locked when I scaled it up. The other thing too is, as you will see here, we're going up and down 10,000. We don't need to go that far. So we'll change that. We'll go 2,500. There we go. So now we're 2,500. That's going to cover all of them. And if we decide to later on in one of the mountains, we decide to put a dungeon in, we do have some room here underneath to put a dungeon in. We'll still have a light mass covering that area. So the other thing too is we'll need that also to do the light map. And I'll tell you this now, if you're still unsure about doing an open world this large for on your computer, you may find, as you can see here, the lighting needs to be rebuilt. If you're doing a small map like the 5 kilometer by 5 kilometer, the light map gets done pretty quickly. But when you do a large one, like 20 kilometers by 20 kilometers, it takes a while to do your light mapping. I think on my computer, as you would have heard earlier in one of my other videos, that I've upgraded my computer. I've gone to an i7 6700K, and I've got 32 gigs of RAM. The light map took a total of 45 minutes to do, but once done, as you would have seen at the beginning of the video, and that it did look pretty good. The only thing that you would have seen is that I hadn't done any cleaning up of the map, which you'll see. Where are you? Over there. Yeah, we'll increase this. Come on. Yeah, it's pretty large. You can see it's taken a while to zoom in. See, as you can see here, see how you can see the waves in the map. Uh, Once you've completed your map and you want to do some cleaning up, when you go to your sculpting and click smooth, see how the tool strength is at 0.3? Basically, you don't want to go any higher than 0.1, because any higher than 0.1 and you're drastically changing your map, and that from what you've imported in. So what you want to do is you want to go between, from the tests I've done, you want to go between 0.03, which will just smooth everything up very lightly. Hang on. Alright. It'll smooth everything up very lightly. And as I said, you don't want to go any higher than 0.1, where it's then gonna clean up a bit more. If you do decide to go higher than 0.1, you want to be careful, because the fact that your map itself is going to be changed too dramatically. You want to follow along your where the water would run. That's the reason why, like down the valleys here, and because I know this here's a river, so you want to follow along your river like that, and then here you want to just go downwards towards your river, instead of going across here like this. So now I've shown you that little bit that I wanted to show you before I moved on. What we're going to do now is we're going to add on another map. So you want to go back to your levels here, go back to persistent, go levels, add existing map, and we're going to open up another one, import. You can see here now we've got another one. So you want to go top view. I like changing this to a lit version, so you can see the map, you can see the ridges on the map. Select terrain, select landscape, and you want to bring it in. Now we need to get the X dimension, so you want to select on your previous map, do a Control C, copy, just get in the position, we'll copy it, and we'll paste it. So then that gives you our X direction. and you want to do exactly the same thing with your Z. Right. Now, as you can see here, if you've done it properly, when you overlapped your images in Photoshop, you'll see here we've got this ridge here, there's a ridge here, we've got this valley here, and the valley here. There's also a couple of other ridges that you'll see, like these ridges here, line up with these ones here. So you want to use it like a jigsaw puzzle, and you want to line them up as best you can. At this point here, so it looks reasonably close by hand. And what we need to do now is we need to go into perspective view, and we need to line this up properly. As you can see it's overlapped. It's pretty close. The overlap, you can see the ridge lines up pretty much. But what I'll do is, if you don't line it up perfectly, just say it's like this. As you can see, we've got a double ridge here. So what we'll do is we'll increase this. Before I do, I'll bring it in a bit. So what are we at? Negative 2527. That's pretty close. It's negative 244.2. But we'll increase this out a bit. So we'll go 0.7. That does nothing. 0.5. Oh, come on, what are you doing? There we are. So what you want to do is you want to... What's going on here? I selected the bloody thing. Why isn't it working? Well, it's lined up. It's pretty close. So as you can see here, it has lined up pretty close. I don't know, for some reason it's I'll select this persistent level and select it and see if that will work. Yeah, you can see here it moves slightly. It's just a little bit too small for the movement to see. Alright. So we need, what was it? 2, 3. 2, 4, wasn't it? Yeah. So what you want to do is you just want to just line it up. It might take a little while to get it pretty much right, depending on how close you want to get it. It's just roughly, and that because what you want to do is once you've got it pretty close to where you want it, when you smooth the landscape out, what you want to do is near the corner here where they start overlapping, you don't want to smooth it out too much because of then one would be smooth more than the other. But the other thing too is what you want to do is you want to go into your I think it's your erosion tool. So you've got your map, got your erosion. Where is it? Erosion tool. And what you want to do is, you don't want to go right through the center of it, you just want to get the edge. So you just want to get erode the edge of it. In doing so, what you'll do is you'll then push the map down. So what I'll do is I'll deselect it. As you can see here, what you're doing is you're then just pushing the map down. Oh, come on, what the hell are you going? Tool strength, let's crank it up. 1. Don't know why it's not doing it, does it? There we go. Right. So what you want to do is you just want to push it down on the edge here. And so basically once you've lined it all up, you'll get this happening. Where you can't see where it's joined up. And you want to do exactly the same thing on this map here. So you want to then push this down here. We'll create a fall off. Right. So it then causes a map. As you can see here, you get a bit more of a smoother overlap between the two. So it's not so noticeable. You're still going to get this dark part here for some when you do the light map. There's nothing basically you can do about it, unless you want to lower one of them down more than the other. But in that case, then, as you can see here, it's just the fact that, well, we'll do that. We'll lower it down and see what it does. Just erodes it a bit, that's all. As you can see, it does this, which you don't want. Saved it. I'm going to undo. Come on. Anyway, right. Yeah, so it's the only thing you got to be careful of is this here. As if you erode it too much, and that it will cause this problem, and it's up to you. Then what you want to do, you could then just go back to, and where is it? Smooth it out. Which one? This one here. And then you have this drama. So you have to be careful when you're smoothing it out. Like as you can see here, you can't see any dark part, but now you've got this problem here. So you got to be careful when you do stuff like this. That's why I said you want to erode the edge, because that there is going to be the main problem you're going to have when the player is walking from one map to the other when we level stream it in, and that is going to see this. But you can hide all this stuff here via what do you call it, like plants or buildings, or depending on what you want to put in your scene. So as you can see here, what I've done is imported them in through adding existing maps that you've imported in. And then all you do then is you just change the position and the height. And then it's just a matter of just putting together like a big jigsaw puzzle. You can see here I've got a river here, and the river comes across here. So I just got to line it up. Right, here we are. And then you want to do that for all of them. And then, if you want to test it out, just go to, we'll just do a save first. File, save all, so don't destroy everything. So that saved everything. That saved all your maps on the locations that they're supposed to be in. Go to player start. Zoom out. And allocate it to wherever you want to put it for player start. Right. File, save all. Now you want to go to assistant level, go to world settings, and make sure you select your game mode that you're in. Right. And we'll just play. That's right. Because I haven't set up the blueprint, so we need to go to blueprint, open level blueprint. Right, begin play. We want to load stream level. Now remember the level name, which is whatever you named it. In this case, I named it terrain underscore x0 underscore y0. Make visible after loading. And should block on load. I think that's what needs to be done. And then you want to do that for all your levels. And you want it, let's say just testing. So in this case, we'll go Y1, Y2, compile. Right. Now if we play, as you can see here, now it's load the level. The lighting hasn't been done, so you want to do that before you do anything else. So as you can see here, we're in, and we'll just check frames, do a stat, FPS. Because I'm recording, it's doing, it's hitting 60. Usually without recording, I'm hitting 90. I went and bought a brand new EVGA GTX 1070. So you might want to test if you've got something smaller than that. Like you don't want to go any smaller than a 970. But I bought a 1070. In my opinion, a 1070 is the lowest you basically would want to go for an open world size like this with the GPU. You want to aim for. If you want to follow along, this is what I'm doing. So I'm using, as I said, an EVGA 1070 super clocked. It's basic, nothing special, but it is a good card, quite surprisingly. I got lucky with the GPU silicon. Right. So the other thing we want to check is stat scene memory. As you can see here, you can see at the top there it goes render view. You can see that increasing and lowering. Same with the time. You can see that increasing and lowering. You want to do this in VR, and that's so you can see exactly what frame rate you're getting, and make sure that your FPS is constantly hitting the 75. Depending on if you're using DK2, 75 frames. If it's a later version of CV1 or 5, make sure you're hitting the 90 frames per second, as you should know. So that's it for this video. You want to go? I'm not going to go through the process of doing every single one, importing every single one in. If you want to, once these are on screen and you want to remove them, you just type the name back in again. Scene rendering, it will move it. And then you want to go, don't want the frames per second, FPS. Right, so that removes it again. So there we are, that's it for this video. And the other thing too is, if you want to put a material on there, just go at this stage. I haven't done a material at the moment for mine. I'll probably do a video for that, but just go to your starter content, just go to the ground, and just put the textures on them. And there we are. As you can see here, it's all still rough. As I said, you need to go through the process of cleaning it up. As I said before, you don't want to have the strength any higher than 0.1. Any higher than 0.1, and then what ends up happening is your detail of your map starts to be removed big time. There's no point of doing it. The other thing too is you can see here all these little bumps. It looks like it's level ground, but you've got all these level bumps, and all this is basically the buildings from the satellite scan. So satellite scans come down and it's hit a building, hit a roof, either a steel roof or a tiled roof. So basically, all you have to do is just flatten them out if you want. If not, you can use them for a bit more detail for a few more hills. You might want to join them up or something like that. In my case, what I'm doing is I'm flattening them out, but I'm looking at the contour of the ground and which way the water flows, and then I'm just using my the smooth tool, and I'm moving it along the water where the water would flow. It takes time to do, but once it's done, it does look nice. And that's it for this video. I hope it helped you on how to do an open world without using World Machine or any other program that you might see on YouTube, where you download a height map and then import it into Unreal. It's a little bit more time consuming, but once it's done, it does look good. So that's it for this video. The next video, I haven't worked out what I'm going to do yet. I might do some learning on some materials, and might do a material for the landscape. this stage, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do for the next video, but until then, do some more testing on your what your system can hold and what you want to do. As I said, when you import them in, make sure it's still at the default settings when you create your map, because of the reason why is the lower settings, the default settings, even though it's high meshed, but once you start zooming out, as you can see from a distance here, see how the polys then decrease, and that helps with your frame rate. As you can see here, it's high polyed close to you, but further out it's the mesh is gone pretty low polyed, which is what you want. Okay, so enjoy and have fun. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'll give you my opinion on what I've learnt. And in my opinion, just keep testing. VR is still brand new, and that, so no one's got a set parameters on how to do something. That everyone's still learning on how far they can push something before it becomes a problem. So until the next video, enjoy, and I'll see you then.